Strong winds have brought some relief from days of choking smog in New Delhi. Construction work has been allowed to resume, but those schools and offices, they remain shut. The air quality index now stands at 303. That's down from 499 nearly a week ago. The scale goes up to 500. Despite the improvement, the levels are still considered very poor. New Delhi is one of the world's most polluted cities. Ishan Garg joins us live now from New Delhi for more on this. Ishan, air quality is still very poor. Why this rush to resume construction work?
Well, government officials are saying that they are taking ample precaution to make sure that dust pollutants are not contributing to the overall pollution levels in this city. As to why the rush to open up these construction activities, that has befuddled many environmentalists and experts in this city as well, because they are saying that the PM 2.5 particles that usually come out of these construction activities, they can be quite dangerous to people, especially who have got problems like asthma or are recovering from COVID-19 even. So there is a huge deal of criticism among the academic circles and the experts and analyst circles, saying that the government is probably rushing into it. But at the same time, Delhi's Environment Minister, Mr. Gopal Rai, has said that they have given out a set of guidelines to construction sites, one of which includes placing very high plastic walls along the construction sites to make sure that dust is not going out. And on large construction sites, there will be smog guns placed, which essentially spray water to make sure that dust settles on the ground. So officials are saying that they're taking all necessary precautions. And if this means that the pollution levels will rise, there might be a scenario when the government might put an end to construction activities in the next 2 days. But we will find out 2 days from now if the government wants to take that decision or not.
Ishan, this is yet more disruption to students and their education, though. They've just resumed classes that were halted for months.
Absolutely. And this is going to be a major blow for students, especially the younger students who are in primary classes or in middle school below the ages of 14. A report by a non-government organization called Education for India had reported that during the pandemic, about 37% students, especially in lower income areas, had dropped out of school for good. And that's the kind of impact we're talking about that results from a closure of schools. There have been concerns raised by education experts saying that there are a lot of low-income families which do not have access to digital devices like mobile phones, tablets, and laptops, and therefore, by closing schools, one is essentially cutting them off from education. But government officials say that they are going to review these guidelines, these policies in the next couple of days, and they'll take a decision. But the major roadblock in their way, they say, is that the pollution that's coming from outside of New Delhi, that accounts for nearly 61% of all pollution. And that's something they say they have no control over. So that's why they're asking now the federal government to intervene and make sure that pollutants from several states, especially the ones that are responsible for residual crop burning, they're addressed, and only then they'll be able to resume schools and colleges in the capital.
Ishan, thank you very much for that update. Ishan Garg there in New Delhi.